Hi, my name is Joan Ruane, and I teach spinning all around the world. And when I'm talking with my students, I tell them to always keep their spinning tools in a special place so that if all of a sudden you get an opportunity to go demonstrating spinning, or a group of friends say, oh, let's go spin down at the club, you want to have where all your spinning tools are together. What I have done is use a basket. So you might want to check what I put in my basket. You might want to do something a little different. The first thing that I do is I have whatever fiber I'm working on. I make sure I have some of that. And then I always keep in a pair of wool cards. I keep in a pair of cotton cards. These I have covered so that there's protection. Maybe that's because I'm basically a cotton spinner and I do use these so much. And so I've got those two sets of carders, and of course I need a pony stick for my cotton. So that goes along with my cotton cards. Then once in a while, if I'm spinning wool and I want to do a worsted, I need a flick carder and I need a comb. So I usually have something that I can flick card on, and I keep that in my basket as well. Then, of course, when you're spinning, and you know there's lint all over the place, it's nice to have a lap cloth. And one side is dark and the other side is light. I keep in there definitely a Lazy Kate. This is a little fold-up Lazy Kate so that I can travel, take it with me, and it is really nice and handy. I have, this is actually a little nitty-knotty. You wind your yarn around here, tie it on both places, and you can flip it right off. So I have to have that. You've got to remember that you've got to have leads for your bobbins, and so I always keep some 8/4 yarn so that I can make leads for my bobbin. And once in a while, when we lose our fiber, we need to have be able to find the fiber that, or your thread that is on the bobbin, and you need something to stick in there and pull that out. And so masking tape always helps. There's a lot of uses for masking tape. We got to keep our spinning wheels in order, so we've got to have our lubrication, Vaseline. We need to have tools to keep it going. And I usually keep just a few little things like a screwdriver and a little wrench and just a few tools to keep my spinning wheel going. And of course, there's always little helpers like rubber bands, the toothbrush that I can reach in and find that lost thread that's in there. This is put out by Fuller Brushman, and it cleans your carders. That really is nice to have. And for if you've got a cloth belt, it helps with the to keep the protection of the cloth, or a cotton belt, I should say. Or sometimes they're a flax belt. And this is belt dressing, and that kind of helps too to keep your belt in good shape. I always keep a little first aid kit. You need that. Of course, a pair of scissors, tags to tag your yarns when you get them done, because you want to make sure you put on what you've done, how much yardage, and what it is, because in the next week you'll forget. So always have your tags ready. I find this little clamp does wonders. There's all kinds of jobs it does. And of course, I need a Kleenex or little tissue papers to clean up a little oil spills or something. Now this basket I can just lift in one hand, the other hand I take my spinning wheel, and off I go to demonstrate. But I travel all over the world, and when I travel, I have to have a little kit, because I can't take this big basket. So quickly, I just want to show you some of the items that I take that I find that are really necessary for me. Here we go. Did you know all this could be put in one little basket? All right, I always have to have notes, because the people, my students, they'll ask me for something, so I always have to have notes, and you have to have pens to your note there. I have to have a pair of scissors, and because I'm teaching around the room, I have it so that I can put this around my neck, and that will hang there. I need to, of course, my students come oftentimes with dirty carders, so I need to have clean their carders. I have to have lead thread for their bobbins. Here's some tissue paper that keeps for the oil. I usually have them wipe off the orifice of their spinning wheels, and they're amazed how dirty it is. So I keep some tissue paper in there. The little punch is great because I punch little cardboard things and I put little holes in them. I use them as tags. And so this always comes in handy. This is a good little gadget. Many of you know have contacts. And in one side here, I put Vaseline. So I don't have to carry a lot, a big thing. And my oil is put into a little, this was a frosting decorator. And so if you can find a little tube, clean it up, put your 30 weight oil, motor oil in it, just perfect. I keep some rubber bands, we gotta have those. We need to have here, sometimes my people, I need to, because I have so many students, I give them name tags. This is my little sewing kit, and it also has a Band-Aid in there. I always carry an extra threading hook. One of my students is always without a threading hook. You've got to have a little knife, one of these little knives that got everything in it. It's a knife and a pair of pinchers, and they're handy little things. And if you go into the stationery stores and you ask, you can get little postal scales. And there's a little postal scale to weigh out your yarn. Here, when many times my students can't quite see the twist, so I actually carry with me it magnifies up to about 50 times. And it's just a little tiny, you get them for coins and to check out your coins, but it works wonderful for fiber. And of course I need a measuring tape. You got to figure out how long something is, the tape is. And believe it or not, the toothbrush comes in handy to find that lost thread. Oh, what is the ring for? Usually it's on my finger, but the ring is for you to, when you are doing, and after you've plied, you put it on before you use Niddy Noddy, and it's weighted so that the bobbin does not backlash. And I keep a few little of these are just a little C-clamp that helps on there, a little sandpaper, and again a little bit of belt dressing. And this is a wonderful little item. It can tell me how many wraps per inch and the angle that it's on. And all that fits in one little bag. I hope that you will go to my website, www.cottonspinning.com, and I have a lot of information on there. And I do have a new book called Beginning Cotton Spinning, and I have 2 DVDs. So please, there's a lot of information out there for you, and it was been a pleasure to be with you today. Thank you.